Hello everyone, this is Daniel. This is my first video. I'm planning to start my own blog, Code Decrypting. If you come and check in maybe a month or two, maybe I'll have it up and running. And hopefully I'll be helping you guys even more. So, this is for newbies to Sublime Text 2. For those of you who've been around it for a while, I'm sure you know how to use this, but if you're searching for this, you probably are new anyway. But anyway, this is going to be a tutorial on how to use projects in Sublime Text 2. Now, I'm sure that all of you have your own text editors, and you may have switched to Sublime Text 2 because you like the look, or you like some of the functionality, like the command palette, very useful, stuff like that. But you're wanting to know, so how can I organize all of my files using projects? Well, once you know the syntax, it's actually quite simple. Frankly, I'd prefer to have a little more functionality in projects, being able to add certain files and such. But at the moment, that's not supported, so I'll show you how to use those right now. So, I'm sure you've all done this before, open file or use Control-O instead, and then you clicked on the files you wanted to open and such. I already have these three open, so I'm not going to be opening them again, but you open the files that you want. If you know the Shift key, you can open all three at once, but still, that takes some time, and if you're working with multiple files across multiple folders, it can be rather slow. So I'm going to show you how to use projects to be able to speed that up and use another functionality that Sublime Text 2 has to be able to switch files very quickly. So, first off, you want to create a new project, and to do this you go to Project, save Project As, and then name it what you want. So I'm just going to name this Example Projects and save it. Now I'm going to be using I'm going to go to Open File, and you'll see that it has both this one with the Sublime.sublime/project file extension and with the Sublime Workspace extension. The one you want to open to work with what actually goes into the project is the project. The Workspace you almost never want to modify, since it does most of the managing your project, and Sublime Text does a great job of that. But as far as what files you want in, what files you want to hide and such, you want to use the one that has the .sublime project extension. So go ahead and open that up, and you'll notice that right now it's blank. Now to do this quickly, you can just hit add folder to project, but I'm going to show you how to do it manually so that you understand exactly what's going on, and so that you can understand how to modify it when need be, and set settings and add builds and such. I'm not going to be showing you an example of the settings and the builds. That's something that you can figure out on your own. But once you get the adding folders down, it's really quite simple. So, you want to add folders. So what you would do is first you type in folders, then hit colon. If you've ever used JSON, you'll notice that this is the syntax for JSON. So you open folders, and then you create an array in the after the colon, and then you create an object. And then in this one, you want to add path and a colon. So what this does is it takes the folders, it goes into your file directory, and then it finds the one with the path, the file path of what you are about to now enter. So you want to hit /C/. What this does, this shows you what partition you want Sublime Text to look in to find the file that you want to add to your project. So the one that I want to add will be users, Daniel, documents, Sublime Text 2, and then personal website. This is not my real personal website. I'm waiting to get my own website host and such set up, and then I'll be using WordPress, but for now I'm just using that as an example. But anyway, so this gives you the file extension, the file path that you want to add to your folder, or to add to your project. And thing is, this must be a folder. If it's not a folder, Sublime won't recognize it. So if you add this and hit save, you'll notice that you have oh, forgot the /s there, and save it. You'll notice that you have over here, you have both the project files and all of the you have all of the files that are in the personal website. So the reason I'm showing you this is, let's say you want to add another folder to your file. What you would do is you would close this object, create another object with path, and then /C/. Let's just do it this way since the one I want is in this directory. Paste that in, and the one that I want to add is the blackjack game. And what this does is it adds this file to your folder, the one with this file path. So now you know how to add the folders. But let's say you don't want that name. It just, to me, it looks atrocious without the space. So what you do is you can rename the folder by going to name and then typing in I hate it when that happens. Typing in the name that you want to use. So I just want to add the space, so I'm just going to use personal website. Hit Control Save, and you have personal website. Now you notice that blackjack game also looks atrocious. So you're going to add a name to that. And I'm just going to name this one Blackjack Game too for simplicity. I guess you could add other names. I don't exactly see why, but hey. So now you notice that these files are showing. You really don't want to edit these. So it's like, is there a way to hide them? And to answer that, yes, there is. Let's say, and this is good for like if you're working with WordPress and you're and you have a lot of files in there that you don't need to show. This is good. File, you just add this to it. File exclude patterns, and what this does is exactly what it says. It creates a pattern that it will exclude, and if you look, here's the syntax, and it's actually really simple. It's just an array with It's just an array with file extensions that you want to exclude. So let's say you got a ton of them. Well, simple way to do that is just this. So you want to exclude the ones with the Sublime/personal file extension. You just add in this. And what this does is it hides folders of any name. That's what this does. It hides folders of any name that have the .sublime personal, or why did I type personal? That's project. .project extension. So, let's say you want to add another one. Well, you do it just like you normally would in an array. You add a comma, and then you want to hide all of the ones with the .sublime / workspace extension, since you're not going to edit that either. Well, now let's see what happens when we save this file. See? You don't have any more of the file extensions. Oops. Oh well. You don't have any more. The project isn't showing the files that have these extensions in them. The .sublime workspace and the .sublime project. So let's say you want to do the same thing with this one. You have a bunch of files that you aren't ever going to edit. They're just like backgrounds and stuff. Then you could just do the same thing. Just add a file exclude patterns down to this folder. So that's actually fairly simple too. Now, let's say that you have some custom settings for this project that you want to use, like you want a certain tab size. Well, instead of putting it under folders, you'd put it under settings. And notice that it's on the same level as folders. To borrow probably a bad HTML term, it's a sibling of folders, not a child of folders and not a parent of folders. It's on the same level as folders. And let's say you have custom build systems that you want this project to use. You would just use this syntax. So, anyway, and I think that just about does it. So, save that. And you'll notice that over here in the folders, this is very nice. Oh, I guess I did remember something now. Now I'm going to show you why using a project is a very good thing to do. So, to really show you how this adds a lot of functionality, let's say you want to open a file. Oh, not that one. It's Control P. So you hit Control P. This will take you to any file. So let's say you want to go to test.html, the file that was in your folder. If you notice, nothing's happening. You hit enter, nothing's happening. Well, if you can go to Control Shift P. No, it's not right. How do you open a project? I forget. Oh, you have to go to Open Project, and you open that project. Well, you now have all of your tabs, and it's easy to navigate around. You just use Control or Alt. Use Alt 1, 2, or 3 for the tabs that you have open. But let's say you don't have test.js open, and you want to go to test.js. Well, one way to do it, you could go over here, click on that, and it would double click on that, and it would open. However, if you have the file nested in like 5 other file folders, and then that could take a while. That really could take a while. So, to speed things up, you could go to Control P, test, or test.js. Now you notice that I don't have test.js written in here. That's because Sublime Text uses fuzzy searching. And if any of these characters are in a file name, it will show the file name. And you notice right here you have this little number. That is a score. And that score is calculated by when first off, it shows how recently that file was open. If it was open very recently, it gives it a higher score. If it was open, like, say, 2 weeks ago and you've opened 2,000 files since then, it's much, much lower. And then the rest of it is based on how many of these letters are found in the actual file name. So you just click on that, and there you go, you have it. So that is why projects are very useful. And the only time that you can really use the Shift P to open a file is either when you have a bunch is when you're working in a project, or you have a certain file open. So it requires having files over here in the sidebar. That's the only time that Control P works, and as far as I know, the only way to get files over here is to open a project. So that's why projects are so useful. They allow you not only to have all of your files for that project in one place in the sidebar, it also allows you to switch files extremely quickly. So, I hope this helped all of you guys, and that's it for now. So, I'm going to